Half of generalship is refusing to fight on ground that ruins you. The enemy cannot beat a son on the ground of grace, so he relocates the war to the ground of law. This is one of his most effective maneuvers, and almost nobody notices the relocation. On the terrain of grace, you stand on a finished work, you're unassailable, because the verdict is already in. So he lures you onto the terrain of law, where the rules are. You're only as accepted as your last performance, only as loved as your latest obedience, only as secure as today's score. On that ground, you're always disadvantaged. You can never get high enough. The law was engineered to expose, not to empower. Through the law we become conscious of sin, Romans 3:20. And here is the trap most sons spend years stuck in: mixture. He rarely drags you fully back under law, he'd be exposed. He blends it. A little grace, a little law. Saved by grace, kept by effort. Paul loses his composure over exactly this. You foolish Galatians. Who has bewitched you? After beginning by the Spirit, are you now trying to attain your goal by human effort? Galatians 3:1-3. Bewitched, a word for a spell, a deception. Mixture is the enemy's favorite terrain, because it feels like balance while it functions like quicksand. Refuse the relocation. Stay on grace, where a son cannot be outflanked. Sun Tzu's fourth factor is the commander, leadership itself. Wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, strictness. An army is shaped by whoever it answers to. Change the commander, and you change the army, because soldiers become the image of the one they obey. So the enemy counterfeits lordship. He installs a different ruler over your inner life, fear. Watch who's actually giving the orders. If your devotion runs on dread of punishment, of falling short, of a God waiting to drop the hammer, then fear has staged a quiet coup. You're still religious, still active, but you're taking orders from a counterfeit commander. And fear is a brutal general. It never says well done, it only says not enough. Paul names the coup and reverses it in one stroke. You did not receive a spirit that makes you a slave again to fear, but you received the spirit of sonship. And by him we cry, Abba, Father, Romans 8:15. 2 commanders, 2 armies. One runs on fear and produces slaves. One runs on love and produces sons.